Thank you very much. Namaskar and welcome. According to the schedule today, I have only to sing 15 to 20 minutes, and then there is going to be an interview. So, in a short time, I thought this is the perfect time for Bilawal, and I decided instead of giving one Bilawal for 20 minutes, in Jaipur Gharana and many other Gharanas also, there are certain varieties of Ragas, Bilawal, Nat, Kannada. There is a large variety of variations of these basic Ragas. And the Jaipur Gharana particularly specializes into these varieties, and some of these are Mishra Ragas. So to do something a little unusual, I have decided to present, there are 6 or 7 varieties of Bilawal, by the way. And there is no time for me to do all. So I have decided to focus on 3 of those, which are relatively not sung much. Aprachalita. The Prachalita Bilawals you hear, but some of these varieties, my Guru Kishoritai was very fond of some of these that I am going to sing today. And her basic training to me for all the years that I had her training was स्वराला जप. हाताच्या ओंजळीत पारिजातकाची फुलं असतात, ती अशी करून ठेवू नकोस, ती कोमेजून मरून जातात. ते सूर आहे तसं समज आणि त्यांना असं असं कुरवाळत कुरवाळत बस. हे ताईंचे शब्द आहेत. आता त्याचं किती आचरण मी केलं माझी करिअर सांभाळून हे मी सांगू शकत नाही, परंतु जे काय आहे ते थोडंसं आपल्यापुढे 15-20 मिनिटात प्रेझेंट करतो आहे. हे 3ही राग ताईंचे चांगले फेवरेट होते. आपणापैकी पुष्कळांनी ऐकलेही असतील, पण काही लोकांनी ऐकले सुद्धा नसतील. प्रथम आपल्यापुढे देवगिरी बिलावल प्रस्तुत करतो. भातखंड्यांच्या पुस्तकाप्रमाणे हा शुद्ध कल्याण आणखी बिलावल ह्यांचं मिश्रण आहे. त्याच्यानंतर मी कुकुब बिलावल पण सादर करीन. तो जयजयवंती आणखी बिलावल ह्यांचं मिक्सचर आहे. आणि तिसरा राग गाणार आहे, 5-5 मिनटंच गाणार आहे, त्याला सुखिया बिलावल म्हणतात. तो सावनी आणि बिलावल यांचं मिक्सचर. हे फारसे कुठे ऐकायला मिळत नाहीत, म्हणून म्हटलं पूर्वी जशा 5-5 मिनटाच्या तबकड्या असायच्या तशा या माझ्या 5-5 मिनटाच्या तबकड्या आहेत असं समजा. पहिलं 3 तास. पुण्यदान तही संपूर्ण वेगळा हो खुदा याच्यानंतर कुकुब बिलावल याची एक बंदिश गातात छोटीशी. हे भातखंड्यांच्या मते जयजयवंती आणखी शुद्ध बिलावल यांचं मिश्रण आहे. आता मगाशी आत्ता म्हटला तो देवगिरी बिलावल, तो शुद्ध कल्याण आणि बिलावल, त्यामुळे दोन्ही ह्या कुकुब बिलावल आणखी देवगिरी बिलावल या दोघांमध्ये ऋषभाला प्राधान्य आहे. कारण शुद्ध कल्याणमध्ये ऋषभ आहे, जयजयवंतीमध्ये ऋषभाला प्राधान्य आहे. त्यामुळे हे राग खूप दोन्ही राग जरा जवळ येतात, पण तरी त्यातला भेद जरा दाखवावा लागतो. तर आपण कदाचित ऐकलं नसेल म्हणून 5 मिनिटं. आणि ही जी बंदिश गातो आहे त्याला एक छान इतिहास आहे. कोल्हापूरला शाहू महाराज भोसले त्यांच्या राजपुत्राचं युवराजांचं लग्न होतं आणि अलाजा त्या काळी आपल्या उमेदीत होते, कोल्हापूरला स्थायिक होते. तेव्हा राजेसाहेबांनी अलाजा खासाहेबांना सांगितलं की युवराजांचं लग्न होत आहे, काहीतरी नवीन तुम्ही पेश करायचं यावेळी. तेव्हा अलाजा खासाहेबांनी ही बंदिश युवराजांच्या लग्नासाठी म्हणून बंदिशी बांधली आणि ती कुकुब बिलावलात बांधली आहे. धन आज दूल्हा धन ये मोहोरत, धन धन साजन लगन घर आयो. अर्थ तुम्हाला कळण्यासारखा आहे. आय एम सॉरी, I should be talking in English. I think I have done injustice to some of them, but I'll continue in English. So the meaning of this astai is pretty clear. Dhana aj dulha dhana ye mohorat, dhana dhana साजन लगन घर आयो, शाहे छत्रपति के घर ब्याह रचो है, धन धन अहमद मंगल गायो है. So you see there is that Ahmad signature of Aladia Khasahib in this bandish, and specifically composed for the wedding of the prince of the Bhosle family, traditional family of Shivaji's descendants. तू सुरू करे धप्ता धन आज दूल्हा धन आज दूल्हा धन छत्रपति के घर शाह छत्रपति के घर ब्याह रचो है धन 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 आज दूल्हा धन ये मुहूर्त धन धन साजन लगन घर आयो धन धन दूल्हा धन ये मुहूर्त धन धन साजन लगन घर आयो धन आज दूल्हा धन ये मुहूर्त धन धन साजन लगन लगन घर आयो है पुण्यदान ही संपूर्ण वेदना तो कुदाई आता आणखी एक तिसरा प्रकार, सगळे 6 गायला मला वेळ नाही आहे, पण तिसरा मी सादर करतो आहे सुखिया बिलावल. The third variety of Bilawal that I'll present is called Sukia Bilawal. I don't have time for all the 6 varieties to sing today. And Sukia Bilawal is a mix of Savni and Ameya Bilawal. So you see shades of Savni in this thing. Some of you may be aware of the fact that there is a widely circulated recording of Surashri Kesarbhai Kerkar in which she has sung this same bandish but under the name Kukubh Bilawal. So when I was confused about it, I went to my guru's guru, that is Kishori Tai's mother, Mugubai, and I asked her, Mai, how come Kesharbai has sung this thing which calls it Kukubh Bilawal? We sing Kukubh Bilawal, which is very different. And then Mugubai replied to me that I had talim from Khan Sahab, Walaja Khan Sahab. She also had talim for Khan Sahab. I won't say bad things about her. I am singing exactly what my Khan Sahab has told us or taught me. But she does have habits of modifying, renaming. So ignore what you hear from others. Our authentic name of this rag is Sukia Bilawal. It's a mixture of Savni and Ameya Bilawal.
संतन को मनहारी जे ध्यावे ते फल पावे ब्रह्मा पालिनी जे जावे देवी दुर्गे सदा संत ऋषि पालिनी असुर दल दलिनी संतन को मनहारिणी जय गावे देवी दुर्गे सदा संत ऋषि पालिनी असुर दल दलिनी देवी दुर्गे सदा संत ऋषि पालिनी असुर दल दलिनी संतन को मनहारिणी जय जावे दे. धन्यवाद.
आपल्याला सर्वांना माहिती आहे की अरुण मामा किशोरीताईंच्या परिवारामध्ये आम्ही सगळे अरुण मामा म्हणतो त्यांना. ही हॅज हॅड अ व्हेरी ब्राईट अकॅडमिक करियर अँड इवन बिफोर आय मेट हिम I had heard of him from very Kishoritai's mouth, and she always first say the intelligent and the academic मध्ये एकदम राजा माणूस असं. तर a question which always is there in my mind, मैं हमेशा सोचता आया हूँ और सिर्फ संगीत के बारे में नहीं, हर एक कला के बारे में सोचता आया हूँ. तो वो क्वेश्चन जो है मेरा, तो प्रश्न मी विचारण्याचा प्रयत्न करतो. त्या प्रश्नाला नेहमीच उत्तर मिळेल असं नाही आहे, पण तरी प्रश्न तर विचारलाच पाहिजे असा आहे की अरुणजी, यू हॅव हॅड अ व्हेरी ब्राईट अकॅडमिक करियर अँड अ व्हेरी ब्राईट अकॅडमिक स्टुडंट यू हॅड बीन, अँड नाऊ यू आर ऑल्सो so great in classical music also. In the first instance, I would like to ask you, do you find any dichotomy between being intelligent and being sensitive for art? Because it is posed as if जहाँ तहाँ पे कहा जाता है, ऐसे सुभाषित भी बोले जाते हैं कि जहाँ लक्ष्मी है वहाँ सरस्वती नहीं रहती, जहाँ ब्रेन रहता है वहाँ हार्ट नहीं रहता. बिकॉज अपने दिल में ना दोनों के लिए जगह नहीं रहती है, लेकिन बहुत बड़े लोग रहते हैं उनके यहाँ सबके लिए जगह रहती है, मैंने देखा है. तो ये हमारा वहम है या असल में ऐसे होता है कि हमारी बुद्धि जो बहुत अच्छा काम करती है वो कहीं कला के साधना में हमें हेल्प करती है या बीच में आती है? वेदर सो ऑल्सो त्यालाच लागून प्रश्न विचारतो की म्युझिक ॲप्रिसिएशन जे आहे ती बौद्धिक क्रिया पण आहे आणि मानसिक क्रिया पण आहे का, आणि त्यात बुद्धी जी असते ती त्या मानसिक क्रियेमध्ये कुठे अडथळा आणते का? कारण द मोमेंट यू स्टार्ट स्पीकिंग अबाउट समथिंग इंटेलिजंट इन एनी आर्ट फॉर्म, पीपल इन डेमोक्रेटिक वे, इन बल्क rode upon you and tell you, shut up, this is not an area of intelligence. That I would like to hear from you.
Well,
Then I'll be able to place myself better. Which side, which camp I am to belong.
I don't know that academic excellence has anything to do with musical passion. Because I grew up with this passion for music since, as my parents told me, since I was 3 or 4 years old. The fortunate thing with me was that they noticed apart from my standing first in the class and all that, they noticed that passion in me. And the lucky thing for me is that from the age of 10, they said, no, we won't let him just do amateurish on his own. We have got to put him into a strict, rigorous training. And that's when I was sent to Ustad Majid Khan Sahab, my first guru, because my father was very fond of Jaipur gayaki. And since Majid Khan Sahab was for years together, all his life actually, the accompanying sarangi player for Keshav, all the concerts. So I was then sent to Majid Khan Sahab. And I thought it was a very lucky break for me, because even at the tender age of 10 or 11, I was at that time, that my attraction was not towards film music or Marathi Bhavgit, Natya Geet. My attraction, and this surprised my parents, that such a little boy, but why does he only want to hear Abdul Karim Khan Sahab's records, Kesar Bhai's records, and Bade Ghulam Ali Khan Sahab's records? He doesn't want to hear any of these film records. So anyway, they noticed it, and so I was sent there. And the brief answer to your question is that academic excellence happens because we all go to school and college. And during the time we are spending there and come back and do your homework, it's the matter of focus in life. You can do multiple tasks, multiple things in life, is my experience. If the task you are doing at that moment, you are 100% focused on that. So if you are studying in a college, studying for a school, studying for an exam, you can't think, "Arey behag madhe ha raag kasa, ha sur kasa yeto?" Or when you are singing, tomorrow will this question come in the exam? You have to keep these things very separate, but you have to have the passion, as I call it, fire in the belly. If you have fire in the belly for two things, then you have to compartmentalize them. When this compartment opens, you are only focused on that, and the other compartment is out. And then close this compartment, open that compartment, totally focused. So it's a matter of being able to concentrate and focus on one task at a time, even though you may be doing 2 or 3 tasks during the day, during the week, during the month.
His reply is like a mantra. It is a mantra for us. Now I dare to ask you a further question, that it is the Jaipur gayaki which is stylized and is being called as Anvat gayaki. You use a much better word, अप्रचलित, कमी गायले जाणारे असं तुम्ही म्हटलं, पण सर्रासपणे आम्ही अनवट असं म्हणतो. अनवट राग गातात, मिश्र राग गातात, की लोक जर कानडा गात असले तर मग हे काय सुहा कानडा गातील किंवा असं, म्हणजे तर आणि मग त्याच्या पुढे असं म्हटलं जातं की जयपूर गायकीचा आनंद हा बौद्धिक प्रकारचा आनंद आहे. When you derive pleasure, when you are listening to music, that pleasure is all of the same color or of the same genre. There are different ways in which you please yourselves while even listening to music. And when it comes to Jaipur gayaki or Anvat gayaki, it is your brain which appreciates more than your heart. So it is I should say a very plain statement, but then it has also got colors. I mean, those who don't understand or those who don't believe, they say that then it is not meant for me. Jaipur gayaki may be meant only for those who have learned music. They know the difference. They know the Jaijavanti and they know the Bilawal, and that is why they can understand, correlate, and enjoy Kukubh Bilawal. So, how would you like to respond on, I may say, this description or this charge?
Well, the charge is a valid charge. It is heard all over the country. I have the very simple example of this is my own guru Kishoritai. The Jaipur gayaki, and it gets this label as a gayaki of the learned musicians. It's not for the common public. She, in her lifetime, has completely proved that wrong. You cannot imagine a Jaipur Gharana Gayika like Kishori ji, who reached the mass public, music-loving public. How did she do that? And she used to tell me, as I gave an example, these are flowers in your palm. Caress them nicely. Don't crush them. And she practiced this in her music. The reason Jaipur Gayaki, as she presented, she changed the character of Jaipur, not the basic character. The fundamentals of Jaipur Gayaki remained very much. The akar, the laikari, the basic tenets of Jaipur Gayaki, sticking to them, but she brought into Jaipur Gayaki what we call lalitya, ranjakata. So she was a live example I was in as a student and later as a colleague of hers for about 40-45 years. And I have seen her absolutely the closest distance from anybody and everybody except her immediate family. So I can tell you with confidence that she decided, she didn't say that I'm going to make a plan to make Jaipur Gayaki attractive. That's not the case. Her own temperament itself was very supportive of bringing aesthetics into otherwise what would have been a rather dry, rule-based gayaki. It used to be. For example, even between Kesharbai Kerkar and Mogubai, I think most of you audience today may not ever have heard them in life, but may not have even heard their names. Kesharbai was Aladia Khasab's most famous student. Mogubai was not that famous. But the difference between Kesharbai and Mogubai, and my Kishorita used to tell me, here Kesarbai's rendering, here my mother's rendering. You see a difference. The femininity of caressing notes, like your little child is on your lap and you are quietly caressing this child. He said, that's the way you have to. That doesn't mean that you make your child sit upside down or back to you. No. Your ragas are this. Discipline of the raga comes first. But don't ever forget that music has two parts. Only the minor part of the two parts reaches your brain. The major part of it must reach your heart. The music that does not reach the heart of the listener is no music. And she practiced it, she showed it to the world. And so I grew up in that tradition of her, in her shadow. Not that I'm not even 1% of what she was. But she has been absolutely a guiding light for me as to how music deserves to be treated, nurtured, caressed, and presented as a beautiful thing.
Very well said, and in very precise words. Very precise words. There speaks the intelligence, you see, the academic intelligence.
But I can tell you that Kishori Tai, because her mother and the tradition was music, she did study up to the level of inter-science, today's 12th standard. Okay? And she was a very bright student in the college. She went to Jai Hind College in Mumbai. I also went to Jai Hind, by the way, coincidence. And she actually wanted to become a doctor. She was on the science stream. She wanted to be a doctor. And then a time came in my life the same way time came in her life when she was in the inter-science in Jai Hind College. Her mother told her, listen, God has given you two talents. You can either be a great doctor or you can continue my tradition to sing. So she thought hard and she said, I'm going to follow you and I'm going to sing. And after the 12th standard, she gave up education. Now, same crossroads came in my life when I had to decide to become a musician full time or to go for engineering and other things. And conventional wisdom in those days was, musician, be prepared to be a pauper. You want to live a comfortable life, go to engineering. And you call it a mistake or not, but I went to engineering.
As Gaurang was quite often making a remark to saying that loss for one is a gain for the other. But in your case, of course, in Tai's case, loss to medical field was certainly much more a gain to the field of aesthetics and music. But so far as you are concerned, it is gain to both the fields. You had early training under Majid Khan Sahib.
Yes.
And Majid Khan Sahib's training must be, very close to Kesar Bhai's rendition, Kesar Bhai's upbringing in music, and that discipline and that aura.
Yes.
So, how did you differentiate between that Kesar Bhai school of Jaipur Gharana and then Mogubai school, which was being taught to you through Kishori Tai? I think initially you had been to Mogubai for getting training.
Yes, actually what happened with my training from Ustad Majid Khan Sahab was in my high school days. That is from the age of about 10, 11 until the age of about 18, I learned from Majid Khan Sahab. And he was suggested because he was first of all, disciple of Aladia Khan. Majid Khan Sahab and Kesar Bhai and Mogu Bhai, they are all Guru Bandhu, Guru Bhaginis. So, my great good luck has been, all my gurus have been Guru Bandhu, Guru Bhaginis of Aladia Khan Sahab's tradition. But the fact that I went into academics and I went to this kind of a career, I could not leave that passion for music from my heart. Of course, the time didn't come for me to say I'm hopeless in this and therefore that. So I decided that why not pursue both? Maybe I'm not going to be a professional singer, go as high as Pandit Bhimsen Joshi, Kumar Gandharva. That was a different generation. But I said, look, I'm going to sing for my pleasure. When you sing for your own pleasure, then you just don't sing humming. And I decided I'd do it passionately and rigorously. So I was telling somebody yesterday that when I was at IIT Bombay, this is a full-time student, Kishori Tai first told me, you're going to IIT? Then our music stops. So I said, oh my goodness, what do I do now? So,
and let me tell you, she kept telling such a thing to almost everybody who said, whosoever was aspiring to be her student, more than a full-time student, if you are a student.
Yeah, well, then so she said, she gave me an ultimatum and said, listen, you want to pursue your IIT career, go right ahead. But I'll give you one concession. That is, I don't expect you to come here for every day, Talim, from Powai. But you have to come at least once a week. And when you come, then Friday evening, Saturday morning evening, and Sunday morning evening. 5 lessons in one weekend. Are you prepared to do that for the next 4 years at IIT? And then are you going to maintain your first rank there? What is going to happen? You decide now. So I said, well, okay, I'll try to do both. And so when I used to come for the weekend, we used to have these 5 sessions. And Sunday evening was the most terrible time every week. That is, our session would end at her house at about 7:30, sometimes 8. So from her house, which was in South Mumbai, I had to catch a train, Western Railway, get down at Dadar, change to Central Railway, get down at Vikhroli station. Vikhroli station, IIT used to run a bus. From Vikhroli station, the frequency of that bus was once in half an hour. So from there to the Powai campus, and where that bus dropped me at Powai campus, there was a half a mile walk to my hostel. And this is after 7 in the evening on a Sunday. So think about dinner. No, there was a big pack of biscuits kept in my room. And that was my dinner on Sundays. So nothing comes easy in this world.
Kuto vidyarthina sukham, you see. But then, because that you were admitted there in the hostel of IIT, that on weekdays it was not possible for you, and that made you discontinue with Majid Khan Sahib?
No. Majid Khan Sahib himself told me, at the point came, he said, beta, अब मेरी बहुत उम्र हो गई है, अब मुझसे नहीं सिखाया जाता, तो अभी और किसी के पास जाओ. He did not tell me whom to go to, और किसी के पास जा. But since I had been hearing 70 RPM gramophone records of Mogubai from my childhood, and believe me or not, we used to have everybody's, we had a stack of gramophone records, 78 RPM, Tabakdya. You name the artists, Bade Ghulam Ali Khan Sahab, Ustad Amir Khan Sahab, Keshav Bhai, of course, Mogubai Chai records, everybody's records used to be there. I used to, out of all those, used to only hear Mogubai Mai's record. And I was just fascinated. I was just completely taken by Mai's rendering of it. The way her balance between sur and lay, sur and tal, somehow in that early age of mine, I don't know how, but it appealed to me. So I decided, if Majid Khan Sahab is going to say go somewhere else, why not go to my childhood idol, Mogubai? So I somehow made a connection. My brother, elder brother, 5 years older, his classmate was a friend of Mogubai's son. So through him, we connected, and so my brother said, Arey, my brother wants to go and meet Mogubai, give her pranams. So will you arrange that? Arey, no problem. She's a very simple lady. So we went there in an afternoon, and first meeting of Mogubai. Believe it or not, we rang the bell. She used to stay in South Bombay in a place near Gavalia Tank. She herself opened the door, and so my brother's friend said, Mai, I have brought a boy to meet you. He wants to meet you. He wants to see you. So she said, what? What for? So then he said, no, he's been hearing your records and he's very interested in learning from you. So she was a little skeptical. He said, anyway, she was a good hostess. So she said, come. So she took us in her house. There was a little room there, which was a music room. And her practice, Kishori Tai's practice, all the disciples used to come there. That was the room for music. So she made me sit there. This is about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So, you are learning from whom? Majid Khan Sahab. Oh, tu Majid Khan kade shikto? I mean, this is the first time I've heard anybody referring to Majid Khan Sahab as Majid Khan. Tu त्याच्याकडे शिकतोस? म्हटलं हो माई, येस. अच्छा बर, Get the tambura, voice has not matured yet, so my sur was the same as hers. Tu ge tambura, tuja awaz kalicha raha na bas. So she, sing something for me. Let me see what you know. So she sat in front of me, she made me sing, and Kishori Tai was there. She did not come there. She was somewhere behind, hearing what's going on. And so I sang with a great deal of courage, Bhimpalas, 4 o'clock afternoon Raag. I sang for about 10-15 minutes. And then Mai intently listened to me. So when I stopped, good. Sodu nako. So I said, Mai, I'm sorry, but Majid Khan Sahib has told me to go somewhere else now. So I have come to pray for you to be my guru. He said, you know what? I am also now aging. She at that time was over 65. So I don't now take any new students, particularly now not little boys like you. So I said, okay. But she said, no, but I liked what you sang. Even if I don't teach you, will it be okay for you if Kishori teaches you? I said, well, this is God sent. I said, Mai, she is your daughter. She has your music. How can I say no? I said, this is my great good fortune that you are asking me to, but will she teach me? No, that you leave to me. I'll say. That is how I went to.
शेवटची 1-2 मिनिटंच आहेत आपल्याकडे. पण तुम्ही माझा असा प्रश्न होता की केसरबाईंकडून तुम्ही आलात ते म्युझिक घेऊन आणि मग किशोरदाईंकडे शिकायला लागलात, तर तुम्हाला असा खूप कॉन्ट्रास्ट किंवा असं काय झालं, काय वाटलं?
That is good question.
तेवढं ऐकूया आणि या मुलाखतीची सांगता करूया.
It's a very good question. In fact, you will be surprised, but Kishori Tai was a huge admirer of Kesarbai. In spite of the fact that there was a professional rivalry between Mogubai, her mother, and Kesarbai. In spite of that, Mai Mogubai was so large-hearted that, forget my personal, but, so, Kishori kede tu jar shiklas tar mi arrange karte. I will arrange it for you. And the fact that you had heard Kesarbai and Majid Khan Sahab was from the lineage of Kesarbai and his teachings, doesn't matter. And that's the way then she said, okay, we will make sure that you come here and you sing. So that is the way I...
Kishori Tai was an admirer of
yes.
This Kesarbai.
Kesarbai. And so Kishori Tai used
but what was the turn, what was the twist in music for you? Was it the same from the back page to the front page, or was it turning of a page?
No, it was not from the back to... No, it was like a turning of a page. Because Kishori Tai...
What was the early mantra that Kishori Tai told you when you were to shift from Kesarbai tradition to, I would say, not even Mogubai, but Kishori Tai coming tradition, because that time Kishori Tai's tradition was yet to be established?
Yes. Well, before that, I answer that. Kishori Tai herself said to me that Kesarbai is a great singer, and in fact, you will be surprised to hear that she was so blunt about it. She said that whenever there is an opportunity, I go to listen to Kesarbai in her concert. And Kishori Tai used to go. And तुम्हाला नवल वाटेल, मी this is something I have to say in Marathi. की केसरबाईंचं गाणं ऐकून मी इतकं माझं भान विसरून जायची, इतकं ते मला अपील व्हायचं की माझ्या छातीवरचा पदर गळून पडलाय ह्याची मला आठवण सुद्धा राहायची नाही. These are her words to me, and I said, oh my goodness. So it is not like there was any animosity. She was very happy that I learned from Kesarbai. He said That's a very good thing because he has gotten your fundamentals done very nicely. My job is easy now.
So, this was an introduction of a dialogue between a maestro and very curious audience, and it would continue maybe on this platform or many other platforms. So, thank you very much.
Thank you.